Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy, and I'm here today with Ray Velasek, and we are talking about the North Country Trail, and we are in Clearwater County, just across the border of Becker County, just north of Detroit Lakes, about, 30, 40 miles north of Detroit Lakes?
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to talk about the trail and what they're doing. They're a breaking trail, making more of the North Country Trail, America's longest trail. And Ray, tell us a little bit about the North Country Trail.
Well, the North Country Trail is, as you said, it's the longest of the National Scenic Trails. It's a 4,600-mile trail. We've worked on it for several years in Minnesota, but just recently, with the formation of 2 new chapters, we've been able to accomplish a lot more miles. And now we're actually working in Becker County on the trail. But the trail is administered by the National Park Service. It's actually a national hiking trail, and it's maintained and constructed by the North Country Trail Association. And we're a chapter of. The Laurentian Lakes chapter is a chapter of the North Country Trail Association, and we're responsible for the trail west from Itasca State Park to the Otter Tail County line. So that's the direction that we're working in building trail.
So roughly how many miles is that?
Well, that's about 65 miles, and we have about 25 of the 65 completed at this point.
Okay, and how many years have you been working on that?
Well, we've been actively working just for the last few years, but they actually started in '92 working on the trail, so they've been working on it for quite a while. But the trail is completed from the Chippewa National Forest through the Paul Bunyan State Forest and through Itasca State Park, and there's just a very short section in Hubbard County that isn't complete. So there's over 100 miles of completed trail in this area.
All right. I'm here today on Hometown Happenings with Ray Velasek. We're talking about the North Country Trail and the Laurentian chapter. And as volunteers are helping to clear the trail, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here with Ray Velasek. We're at the North Country Trail in Clearwater County, just across the border of Becker County and the northern line. And we're talking about the trail clearing that's going on in the area. And Ray, you're head of the Laurentian chapter.
Right. I'm currently the president of the Laurentian Lakes chapter. The chapter was formed 2 years ago. We have about 50 members. But we have a friends and members list that we email to of over 125 people who are interested in the trail. Today we have 6 of our volunteers from the chapter that are out working on the trail. And in addition, we have Boy Scout Troop 690 has a group that's out working, as well as this week we have the Minnesota Conservation Corps that's working on the trail. The Laurentian Lakes chapter, you can, if you would like more information about the chapter, you can go to the North Country Trail organization website, northcountrytrail.org, and if you go to /LLC, then our chapter information is there at the website. And if anybody is interested in joining the chapter or helping out, my email address is highpines@arvig.net. Or my phone number is 573-3243.
All right. So as you'd mentioned earlier, you said there are a number of chapters that help build the trail. And how did you yourself get interested in starting a chapter?
Well, I've been a member of the organization since 1989, but I didn't become an active member until I retired in 1999. I don't know. I really enjoy the outdoors. I've been involved in scouting, Boy Scouting, my whole life, and I hiked many trails, many of the National Scenic Trails and other hiking trails. And so now that I'm retired, I felt like I owed the trail system something, and so I got involved and we formed this new chapter. There are 3 chapters in Minnesota. The North Star chapter, which is located in the Twin Cities, the Itasca Moraine chapter, which is responsible east of Itasca Park, and then our chapter.
All right. I'm here with Ray Velasek at the North Country Trail, a trailhead here in Clearwater County. And Now, how many points of access are there will there be in Clearwater and Becker County?
Yes, there are several points of access. People can easily do day hikes from one location to another. There's an access point at the south entrance to Itasca Park. There's another kiosk and trailhead on the Anchor Matson Trail. Then the next one is this one here on County 39, which is about 1.5 miles north of Highway 113. And then there's also a trailhead on Highway 113 where the trail crosses that. And then there will be another one on Elbow Lake Road.
Okay. All right. And where is the best place to maybe find a map or online, I'm sure, or are there actually paper maps?
Online or at the trailheads, there are maps of the trail. And there are brochures at the trailheads as well.
Okay, all right. And as you hear, there's a lot of activity here clearing the trail, and we're going to talk to some of the volunteers working on the trail clearing, and then we're going to have another part coming up next week, and we're going to actually show how the trail is cleared. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with more Hometown Happenings after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy with Ray Velasek, and about a dozen volunteers here today on the North Country Trail, and we're going to wrap this part up. We'll see these volunteers in action, and who do some of these groups represent here today, Ray?
Well, the groups that are represented are Boy Scout Troop 690 is here, and then a Minnesota Conservation Corps crew is also here, and then our local volunteers from the Laurentian Lakes chapter.
Right, so we are going to head into our next part next week, and we will see all these folks in action. And for TV3 from the North Country Trail in Clearbrook County, along with Ray Velasek, I'm Carol McCarthy.